go to design and quick layout. And that's my quick layout. It's my favorite one. You can also get to the chart title, clicking all this stuff. Okay, also, I'll show this again real quick. That's all these options. That's so many cool things. It's so nice.
Gary! I was just looking for the sports channel, Gary.
Hey everyone, how are we doing? Everything looks to be good. Just turning up my sounds a little bit. What's up? We got Coop in the chat. We got Sam in the chat. We're going to start talking about some asynchronous stats 101. Should I check that command again? Should I check the... Liam says I should check it again. What's up, Maddie? So good to see you here. We're going to... Oh, shoot. Oh, I added 100. Well, you know what? Just to be safe. You know what? What can be done cannot be undone. So thank you for showing up live to the Monday. I didn't mean to give out that big of a reward, but hey, that's what happens when you copy paste a command from the documentation. So everyone just got 100 points. You caved and got a haircut. It's all right. You're still awesome. Mubot still knows that. Everyone's checking out their points. So I won't always be giving that crazy amount of points away, but I can give points. So maybe during class I can give points now, but I'm checking out new commands here, all this good stuff, getting text about services getting fixed. Let's jump into it and let's start talking about asynchronous stats 101. Coop, awesome stuff right there. People going crazy with these points right here. Katie, you'll have some points soon enough. So it's so good to have everyone here. Let's do this. Let's start talking about some asynchronous stat 201. So Emma, I can talk about that briefly here. So what it is Mubot tracks how long you watch, and you also get points for watching. So there's tiers. Like if you notice, I'm platinum tier right now. So if someone had watched every stream I had done and gotten all the points for this semester so far, they'd have 1.25 points on their final grade. You can get up to 2 points on your final grade. You can see Andrew, his points were reset last semester, but he's been here for 80 hours, which is absolutely awesome. He has 120 points. So other people are checking their points. You see they have 0.25 points on their final average. Alexander has 0.5 points on his final average. So you can see via your tier, because there's different tiers you'll get to, how many points you'll get added to your grade at the end of the semester. Like, great job, Sarah, right there. One of our, maybe one of our first gold tiers right there. Sarah has made it to gold tier. Ella is at silver tier, and there's tiers beyond this. So I might even do who knows what. But so good to have everybody here. Wow, already got, look at all these gold, silver, bronze tiers, but there's more tiers to come. And they get a little harder to get to. It's based on like Pokemon Go levels. So I just need to show up and be interactive in the chat. Emma, that's totally it. As with my sections, you show up, you be interactive. How do you collect more points? You chat, you answer questions. Here, we'll do a bet just to show. So we'll talk a tiny bit more because maybe it looks like a lot of people are new to the point system. So we're going to do a bet right now. We're going to do a bet for 10 points. And we're going to say, should it be a real bet or a fake bet? If it's a real bet, I'll make it 20 points. If it's a fake bet, well, I'll get 10 points. Should it be a tough question or an easy question? What do you say? Tough, real bet. People want that 20 points right here. Okay. So let's do something we'll be learning in Stats 1. So we're talking about Stats 1 to start right here. So betting on what type of variable is someone's height. So what type of variable is someone's height? We have categorical and quantitative. You can help each other in the chat. And identifier. Okay, so let me explain how betting works. We can bet up to 20 points right here, and you'll get a double payout. We're going to go ahead and add this last option. So this is how it works. The question is, and I guess I can show it here on the screen better. Let's go over to the main screen. Let's do this. Let's zoom in. So the way it works is you type bet, then the ID, and then the amount you're betting. Like Courtney just bet 20 mu points on option 1, and you saw the amount go up. I'm not saying it is quantitative, because I'm not going to go with the answer to this one. And Sam, I'm going to comment on Sam. Sam, amazing point right there. Sam, you're totally right. It's not an identifier because people can have the same height. Identifiers must be structurally unique for every single observation. I don't know if you can switch your bet, but it's not an identifier. I'll give that one away. So when you think about categorical, my hair is just getting everywhere today. When you think about quantitative, categorical, and identifier, fixed. When you think about quantitative, categorical, and identifier, quantitative is like a how much question. Like, it's weird to say like how much is your height, but maybe that works. When you think about categorical, that is like which group are you in? When you think about identifier, it's which one are you? Things like your driver's license would ID, your driver's license number would identify you, your driver's license plate would identify your car. Those are unique for everything. Categorical would be groups like Nissan, Honda, but then quantitative would be how many miles you drive a car. So we got so many people watching live right here. This is just office hours. We're going to talk about asynchronous stat tool 1 here in just 1 second because I know a bunch of people are coming in. So does this make sense, Emma, how to do the betting? You can copy paste what people write if you like their bet, and then you should see that the betting increases. So we're just going to hit stop right here, and we're going to pick the winner. And you got that, Liam, you got that in right the last second. Nice job. No worries, Emma. It's kind of an interesting social media app thing. Sorry for the people who lost points, but this is just how you can interact. If you also just talk live, you get points. Like Emma, if you check your points now with the command !points, you can see your points, and that's how you do it. All the commands, so you see it just shows you your points. So Grant's checking his points right now. 315 points, yes. So it's a lot of fun. Just makes it more interactive. And the longer you're watching, the more you're interacting, the more points you get. You can't get points by just typing randomly multiple times. It puts a limit on it. Like you can't just keep doing it. Great job, Katie, right there getting some points. Let's talk about asynchronous stat tool 1 because I said we'd do that at the start via the announcement. Okay, so I put the class over screen on, or I thought I did. All right, let me go grab the asynchronous stat tool 1 class. Okay, asynchronous stat tool 1. Let's go talk. Let's do some talking here. So I'll send out an announcement about this, but who noticed that for asynchronous stat tool 1, I added in all of your modules up to chapter 5. So I'm in the Monday. I got really scared. My heart started beating there for a moment. Not that it wasn't beating beforehand, but I was a little bit afraid. And you can tag me if you have a question with stat tool 1, tag me. So make sure to tag me whenever you have a question. I'm looking at the chat at all times. I mean, not all times, but for the most part. Okay, so asynchronous stat tool 1, you have to have this completed by tonight. I will be sending out reminders, but you can see right here, this is for asynchronous stat tool 1. So if you are in the asynchronous class, you will see this. This is worth a grade, so please make sure to do this. So let's put down this task right here for tonight. So this is asynchronous stat tool 1. Asynchronous stat tool 1. I'll learn by the end of the semester how to spell asynchronous, or I'll just auto-complete it every time. Complete module by tonight. We're going to make this text bigger. Okay. So by tonight, complete lecture. Stats start here. This is found under modules. If you're trying to, thank you so much, Courtney, right there. Courtney, huge help. Really appreciate that. So with this, you can see where it's found. It's found right here. This is due tonight. Please, 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 please do these. They're worth a good portion of your grade. I think they're worth like 15% of your grade. So please do these. A lot of good reviews on them. Please tell me if you like things or don't like things. And upload the flashcard bonus. Let's put that down. Upload flashcard bonus. So you don't have to watch these lives. What's up, Adam? So good to see you here. You don't have to do the flashcard bonus if you don't want. You can participate in these live lectures. You don't have to do either. Either of those are bonus. They're optional. So purely optional. We'll put it here optional. I mean, everything's optional. You don't have to do this either. Yeah, that's fine. During these office hours, could you show examples on how to do functions and jump? You bet, Emily. We'll do that next after. We'll talk about each class, and then we will do some functions and jump. What do you specifically want to see, Emily? Feel free to ask. We can do we could do some visualization stuff if you like. So feel free to ask. If it was on the mobile app, the app won't fill out. Oh, that's a bummer, Hannah. I didn't know that. So does everyone see for the asynchronous class? We now have chapter 2 uploaded with the flashcard bonus. We have chapter 3 uploaded with the flashcard bonus. Chapter 2 is a much longer one. Yeah, I'll send it. Email me, Maddie. We don't put it in the chat. Email me and I'll send it to you. And then you have limited time to click on it. Like if it doesn't work, email me back. During these live lectures, do you go over lecture modules, but we have to complete? Yep. So I can go over material. Great question. Because everyone's still understanding. Email me like on bstevens@UTK via your UTK email. Awesome. Can you have visualization too? You bet. We can do that next, Sarah. You bet. After we're going to talk each class, because then I'm going to put the timestamps in these. So you can see, does everyone understand where these are? And you can see the due dates. I've tried to space them out so that there's an even amount of time, and there's all the way up to chapter 5. I'll be uploading more, but I've been literally creating these all over break, and it's been a learning process how to use this software. Just as long as here, I'll show you one of them right here real quick. I think I did all. I wonder if it keeps my progress because I chapter 5 actually had an error. Okay, good. Better load. Last night when I was doing this, chapter 5 had an error. I didn't fill out some of the questions, and so I was like, "Oops!" And so I went back and fixed it. So it didn't keep my progress. I think because I'm not a student. So there's a lot of like you have to answer these questions. We will calculate the standard deviation by hand. This is false. Please read the things. I wrote all of these so I know what they say. But I added those in while you go through. The standard, you're getting some answers right here. Standard deviation, there's 5. These are the ones I didn't fill out, and they all just say estimate the standard deviation. Standard deviation here is 20. I'm trying to see, does these ones have flashcards? I think the Z-scores have flashcards. When you get down to the flashcards at the end, we don't estimate standard deviation for that. You'll see flashcard, like here. So so to talk about the flashcards for a second, whenever you see a flashcard at an end of a chapter, you should write this down. Does that make sense to... So only people in the asynchronous course have to complete those lectures. Exactly, Elizabeth, 100% right. 100% right. We reset it this semester, Dan. We reset it this semester. And thank you so much, Coop, helping out right here. Does everyone see these are the flashcards that when you get to them, you should write down what's on the front, standard deviation, the typical distance, observations are away from the mean, concept best applied for normally distributed data. Hence for this one, who knows what kind of data this is right here? Exactly. This is the only key difference, really, Liam, and that's why I'll start each Monday talking about this right here. And we'll talk about some concepts, like who can describe what's going on right skewed. Andrew knows that immediately. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. So think of this as like a tail of the distribution. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. This is for all of them, Sarah. We're just talking specifically about the asynchronous to start. And now, so these are the things that are the asynchronous are responsible for. Let's go here to all of Stat 201. So this is all of Stat 201. So you can just take a whole picture of them. So Katie, just take one picture. Don't worry about like one picture of one picture of another, front, back of all of them. Just one picture of all of them. It's a little bit of the honor system that I believe like someone could cheat the system by just filling out the front and not doing the backs. Hey, at least you're putting in some effort, right? But it's a little bit of the honor system that I believe you've filled out the backs of them. So don't worry about like super clear. Yeah, a little bit of the honor system. I mean, you're like, okay, I'm going to fill out the fronts and not the backs. Brian is sus. The Mubot knows that too. Exactly. And I'll put timestamps. Thank you so much, Courtney. Courtney, this is Vols Help Vols totally right here. Everyone's understanding what's going on. So sign up to MyPearson. I'm going to put like 10 exclamation marks here. Let's drop that video in the chat again, just if anyone's watching this, because just makes it easier. I'm sure someone has found it via the chat, but please, 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 please. You're hearing the headphone warning, right? Sorry, everybody. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you. Courtney, you are awesome. And so sign up to MyPearson. This is how to sign up to MyPearson. It should not ask you for a course ID. So asynchronous students will be okay for the examples of completing the lecture modules, or we can go to live lectures. You need to make sure. So this is required. So these are required for asynchronous. You have to do these for asynchronous. Does that make sense, Bailey? If you are in the asynchronous course, this is part of your grade. There's a pro and a con to this. In the asynchronous class, I think 15%, I'll have to check the syllabus again. I mean, I wrote it, but I took from the tests, and the tests are actually down-weighted. Tests count for less in the asynchronous course, where completing the modules, going through the material actually counts for part of your grade. I took from the test portion of the grade, so tests have been down-weighted. Each test is worth about 66% of what it's worth. So if you complete these, you get a good portion of your grade. You get 15% of your grade, which is taken from the tests. I don't want to create this. Who knows? Maybe later people like, take the asynchronous course. The tests are weighted less. But that's kind of a big pro. But if you don't do them, you lose that portion of your grade. Does that make sense right there, Bailey? That you have to do these in the asynchronous course. You can attend live lectures. You can attend them, but you have to do this. I just want people to know you have to do that in the asynchronous course to get that portion of the grade, because you can attend live lectures to get more information. Just confused with the information given lectures is different from modules. Same information, but you still have to watch the modules. So let me clarify right here. You have to do modules. Watching live is optional. Does that make sense? Like, you can watch live to supplement your learning, Like if you're like, I don't get this, you can join any session like this or any, because I put both links to the videos, and let's show where those are at. If you're in the asynchronous course, you have these live videos right here. They're Eastern time, but you can see I'll be live at 4:30. So if you're like, I'm still confused, I don't get these topics, you can hop into these live videos and then ask questions. These are purely optional right here. You're not required to do these, but it's a good avenue to hop on and say, hey, Brian, I'm stuck on this. Or, yeah, I was wondering about this when I was doing the modules. And so that hopefully makes sense. Is it okay if we put two pictures on through the flashcards front back or on the same word? Yeah, that's great. Kate, that's excellent. So whatever works best for you, as long as they're easy to see that you did it and one would believe you did it. Like I said, technically someone could fill out all the fronts. Don't worry about if there's like, some of them have like 15 flashcards or 20 flashcards. Just kind of spread them out and just be like, snap. Like I don't want you to spend 10 minutes taking a picture. I just want you to be like, here's my cards, and just spread them out and be like, boop. Does that make sense, Kate? Like I want it to be easy enough. You take a picture, you upload it to there, and one would reasonably believe you did the flashcards. And if you do that, you're good to go. As long as I would reasonably believe you did the flashcards. I mean, if it's like two flashcards is really blurry, I'd be like, what's wrong? Where do we upload flashcards? To upload your flashcards, go to the modules. Thank you. All these great questions, Asynchronous. Awesome stuff. To upload your flashcards, each section, each module has a bonus flashcard. You'll see the first thing is the lecture. It's kind of the first thing you do. And then there's a bunch of jump data a lot in these, but then the last thing is the bonus. So anytime you go to a lecture, you will see, or anytime you go to a section, you'll see lecture at the start, and it's very clearly labeled lecture. These are the modules. Then you'll see the bonus flashcards. My hair's getting too long. And that's where things are at. So hopefully that makes sense right there. And we were saying everybody, no matter if you're asynchronous or synchronous, you need to sign up to MyPearson. So complete first quiz and homework. Let's take a look at our schedule real quick for what we have for this week. We're just going to hop over here. My brain's breaking. Home. I want to go to home. And let's scroll down. Here we are for this week. This week goes through Friday the 29th. So we do have stuff coming up on the Monday. So we're going to mention this too. So we have this week chapter 1 and we have homework and quiz. Now, let's put a note. Due on Tuesdays and Thursdays weekly. It's not like it's always due on a Tuesday or a Thursday, but the MyPearson assignments are due on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, that's awesome, Alexander. Thank you so much. My uncle was a neurosurgeon. But does this make sense right here? The MyPearson assignments are due on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we can go over more on how to do those, but make sure you connect those and complete the first homework and the quiz. Who's done the first homework and who's done the first quiz? Oh, yeah, we'll definitely go over chapter 1 slides. You bet, Sarah. You definitely bet. Oh, sorry. I say definitely a lot. How long did it take you, Leslie? How long did it take people to do that first homework and that first quiz? Everyone's saying me. And I'm guessing it took maybe 5-10 minutes tops. I just did the homework. Might have done it for 10 minutes. Not long at all. I've done the first homework. It's like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 seconds. That's the record, Sam, right there. Sam's got the record. It's not long at all. I like that. So don't miss these assignments. Go ahead after this, do them now. Or maybe if you have it, just go ahead. You've got the links right here. Go ahead and click this link and do it in the background while we're working on this right now. Be like, I should check this out. Brian's like, hey, go check this out. If you've got it already connected, go ahead and click that. You're good to go. We also have here visualization 1 and visualization 2. We're going to talk about that after we do 320. So be prepared. And I'm going to put timestamps in these videos afterwards. So we have here visualization 1 and 2. You know what? How about we speed run visualization 1? Who wants to speed run visualization 1 right now? Let's get some yeses or nos in the chat. We're not even going to do a vote because I just want to see, should we speed run visualization 1 right now? How quickly can Brian do visualization 1? The hardest part of visualization 1 is installing jump. And let me put that in the playlist right here, which I've already done that. So I'm cheating, right? Oh, look at all those yeses. So here's the playlist with how to install jump. So let's put that here first. Install jump. Kind of important. Install jump. Install jump. This class is completely and utterly random. Let's do this. Let's speed run it. Okay, here we go. I'm ready. Okay, we got time on the clock. How fast do you think I can do visualization number 1? How fast do you think? I'm going to bring up the instructions right here. I'm not going to cheat. I'm just going to bring up the instructions. How quickly do people think I can do visualization 1? Let's get some bets on this. Oh, I guess that works. That works. That works. What, 53 seconds? Oh, sorry. Okay, so the hardest part, sorry, I think I can beat 53 seconds. I heard the world record. I heard the world record is 25 and it's held by Cheese. Cheese really great. Mario 64 speedrun it right there. 25 seconds is the world record held by Cheese doing some Mario 64. But we're going to beat Cheese's record on this. So check out Cheese speedrunning right there. So we need to take I'm just giving the rules of this. The rules of this speedrun are that you have to let me make sure my screens are set up properly. Am I allowed to download this data first or not download this data? Because it's going to help with making the screen look proper. So you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm going to download it because it's going to make life way easier rather than, okay. 2 seconds. Because you see, it's going to do that to start. And I want this right here. Okay. So now it's on the screen so you can see it. When I click over to it, it should be visible. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Have I minimized that? Good. Okay. Survey says yes. Good, 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 good. Let's make this full screen so it's nice and pretty. And go over here. And we are good to go. Okay. So what's going on with this right here? Let's just explain the rules of this speed run. The speed run is you have to take a random sample of 700 plus the last digits of your UTID. You need to take a screenshot of a random sample taken from this data set right here. So you need to take 700, whatever the last 2 digits of your UTID are. So if the last 2 digits of your UTID are 65, you need to take 765. That's what you'll take as your random sample. Take a screenshot of all 5 variables included with the columns, blah, 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 put it in a Word document and submit it. Be sure to include your name. Ooh, that's a big one right there. Got to make sure to do that. This is an example screenshot right here. So just make sure to include your name. So yeah, put your name in the Word document, I'd say. Should be fine. Or name the Word document after your name. Let's do this. Because here we go. Okay, here we go. We're going to start right here. We're going to go to the data set. We're going to go to tables. We're going to go to subset. Oh, no, 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 no. We're going to go to tables and we're going to go to subset. I was like, that's off the screen. Then we're going to go to right here. We're going to hit 700 plus 65, which are the last digits of our UTID. Then we're going to click this button here. We're going to hit OK. We got it. This is our random subset now right here. Make sure this says 765. We're going to expand this window just a little bit right here. We've got all 5 variables in here. I think Terry said we're fine. Let's do 20 rows. Oh no, Steve's beat me. I slowed down too much. It's because I got that bad screenshot. That was bad RNG right there. We'll go right here and take our screenshot. We're going to take all of the last 5 rows. We're slowing down. This is a 100% run right here. We're going to hop over here. We're going to put Brian Stevens, and then we're going to pop in the screenshot. And there we go. Submit this document. You are good. Time, 50 seconds. Sub 50. That's good. We need to practice this. But there it is. Downloading jump is the larger portion of this. Downloading jump is the larger portion. Good guess right there, Sam. Good guess right there, Sam. So this is recorded. Do we read the book, watch the chapter videos before doing the homework? Yeah, that can help. It's good sometimes to look at the homework and the quiz to get an idea of what's going on. What is that? You hit Windows, Shift S. I'll have to try that, Courtney. Snipping tool. Make sure to use snipping tool. And let me I've got a screenshot video. So let me drop the screenshot video in here. How to take screenshots. Because don't take a screenshot with your phone, whatever you do, please. No phone screenshots. I'm sorry, but I get a lot of those. I'm sorry. That's like, I think Courtney's got some pro tips right here. Courtney, thank you so much. But yes, make sure to, Mubot's just going crazy today. I love it. He's like, I'm in control. And so make sure to take a good clean screenshot, snipping tool with a PC, Courtney dropping some pro tips right there. And we have Command-Shift-4 on a Mac. And I dropped the video in the chat on how to do it. So I think let's do the last tips for Stat 201. Let's hop back here to the main screen. Okay. So the last thing I would do if I was in Stat 201 this week, well, I mean, attend lecture. I mean, that's a given. Attend live to get points. And also Canvas, content, quiz, attend Kahoot, to help with it. So every Kahoot is going to help with that. Here's the big mega plan for this week. Let's put here, have fun. We're going to have fun. How many of these tasks have people completed so far? What does the quiz cover? Let me double check that. That's an excellent question. Thank you so much. That's a really good question. I'm assuming it covers like chapter 1 and 2. Canvas content quiz 1. It covers chapter 1 and 2. Like I said, I was pretty sure. 7 of them, Zoya. Amazing work, Zoya. So it covers 1 and 2, which we will cover this week. I'm always afraid to say things and be wrong. So I double check. I'm one of those like double, triple checkers. I go back to my door and I like, is it closed? And I walk back and I'm like, is it closed again? I'm like trying it 50 times. I'm like, okay, it is closed, right? And my fiance's like, yes, the door is closed. Step 10, all of them. Yeah, it's like, let's just go check it again. You've done all until visualization 2. Exactly. And then I'll have some visualization videos. I'll send them out. I made most of them last semester. I think they're still current. I'll check. I might have to redo some or edit some of them. Should we wait to do the Canvas content quiz until you get 2 attempts at it? I'd maybe, if you're worried about them, I'd wait till after the Kahoot. They're open book. The Canvas content quizzes are open book, open anything. So if you can just look up the material. So Gary, to have you back, Charlie. We reset the points, Charlie. I'm so sorry, Charlie. So if we are in the asynchronous and we don't attend live, is there a way we can get points? You can attend office hours, and you can also do the flashcards. So you get the bonus by watching live or flashcards. So you don't have to watch live if you're in the asynchronous, Grace. Great question right there. Should we wait to do the homeworks till after the live lectures? If I was in the class, I would do the homework, the MyPearson work before the live lectures just to look at it. And if I got stuck, I would stop. So that'll give you a frame of mind. Does that make sense? Great question, Miranda. That would give you a frame of mind. I would look at the MyPearson before lectures, and then you'd have a frame of mind to be like, this is what I'll be learning. And then if you're stuck on something, when you hear it during lecture, you'll be like, oh, that's what that means. Or you could ask a question if you're stuck. For the asynchronous class, should we wait to do the Canvas content quiz? If I was in the class, I would use 1 attempt, and then I would look at what I'm stuck at, and I'll basically give away those answers. You can frankly ask some of them during the Kahoot. I'm okay with just flat out giving away answers during Kahoots. If you're really worried and you're getting bad grades on them, I definitely wait till after the Kahoot to do it, because usually there's a Kahoot I associate with a Canvas content quiz. So how do the quizzes compare? The MyPearson quizzes and homeworks are structured off of each other. The Canvas content quizzes are meant to give you structured like tests. So these are structured like the tests. Are all the Kahoots all 4 on Friday? I think we might around that time, Grace, and they are recorded. That's Charlie. This is what I'm doing this semester. At the start of each Monday, I'm covering what we should be doing in class this week. And there's so many great questions right now. And this is our plan for this week, Charlie, because I told people at the start of each week, we're going to say, hey, here's what we should be doing in this class. You can watch this at any point, but here's the rundown of what I would be doing if I was in Stat 201. And if I missed something super important, I'd send out an announcement. But I think this has it. Stat 201, are we good? What time is the week's Kahoot? Usually 4 p.m., I think we did. We could go a little earlier, and we might play more Among Us. We had a lot of fun playing Among Us. For live lecture classes, do we have to go to the materials in the modules, or is that supplementary review? If you are in the synchronous classes, you do not have to do these. This is only for the asynchronous. So all of Stat 201 starts here. All of Stat 201 starts here. Yeah, Andrew, you missed it. It's on the channel. You should check it out. We had some really good games, and we could get you in on some Among Us games if you want. I mean, it worked well. Or what posted on the YouTube channel. If you can't find something, just email me. Oh, remember, as always, help everyone on the chat here. How do you email me? Stat201, your initials, and then title here. But if you're in the asynchronous class, you'll put an A, and if you're in 320, you'll put this. So depending on third imposter here, exactly. So please use these email titles right here. How quickly did I respond to your email in the chat? Who can mention? Sorry, there was some nights where I had around 200 emails. What is Among Us? Like, what do we do? Oh, it's a game we play. We will probably play it again. Coop, you're welcome to join in. It's on Steam. 10 minutes, Zoya says. 10 minutes, like 20 minutes. I try to really quickly. And sorry, some people had to wait a few hours. I think the longest was around 10 hours. Very sorry if that was you. Try to get to them as quickly as possible. Are the codes posted anywhere? Yep, on the channel. EA. Awesome, EA. So it's free on mobile, you're right. Is it better just wait until lecture or device to do self-learning? Just anytime you're stuck, stop. So Alexander, anytime you're stuck learning the material, stop. Just jump into one of these and ask your question. So thank you so much, Charlie. Yeah, Campbell, I think we could. If we get, if people keep wanting to play and I'm free during those times, which I usually am, I think we could. So when do you think is the best time to watch the chapter videos? Definitely the earlier the earlier the better. It's that way you can see what material you need to learn. So here's what I would do if I was in the class. I would look at the homework, I'd work through it, and any question I didn't know, I'd write down so that when I'm covering the material, I could see, here's what I need to know. So I would do the homework because you get infinite attempts on the homework. You can't mess up the homework other than not doing it. So I would do the homework first, and then I would see what I don't know, and then I would go back, do the material, and then I would do the homework and the quiz to completion. It's just for fun, nothing stats related unless Brian starts analyzing the game. Courtney's 100% right. Well, that's got it. We're going to talk 320. There's not too much to talk about. 201 hangout because we're not done yet, but let's hop over and let's start talking about some 320 here. So we're going to talk about BAS 320's to-do list to do this week. Okay. Let's show it if you want. And I showed this to, if you can do me a favor, you don't have to do this. 47, so crazy. You guys, I'm honored by this. I'm honored we have this many people. Maybe as I say this, everyone just clicks off because I'm like, we're going to talk about 320 here for a second. We'll be back talking about other stuff in moments. So let me bring this over here. This is a very important announcement from Rick Sanchez about BAS 320. So let's go ahead. Let's bring up the volume and let's go away.
Morty, you've got to practice your data camp, or you're going to be a failure.
Rick Sanchez will have some advice for 201 coming up right here, but that's Rick Sanchez's advice. Did I put so if you see that video, it's on. Oh, did it not show up? Daniel, did everything work properly? Can everyone see that? There will be more Among Us, Sarah. Your screen is blurred for some reason. Is that on my end? Yeah, they're helping you out right there. I see that right. Coop said it. So it worked good. You can go down to the bottom of the video right here. There's a scroll wheel that controls your resolution. So Coop, there's a scroll wheel. Sometimes due to internet connections, it'll lower the resolution, but you should see a scroll wheel and just bring it up to 1080 because I think we broadcast in 1080. So check out the video if you want, but BAS 320, big thing for this week is sign up to Data Camp. We'll send out the link again, but I sent it out in an announcement. So let's put that right here. Look for announcement with links. So I have the link sent out. Please tell me if you need it or if you can't find it. Email me from your UTK email address. And last but not least, I think there's only one more thing. They got so little to do. Watch class live and have fun. We got to do that. We got to put that on here. That's big, important stuff. Watching class live is key to success. Coop, so good. Glad that helped out. Thank you for asking, Coop. Just anytime you're stuck, I know the YouTube platform is new, so there's all these different things. Let me go grab one of the BS 320s, and we're just going to look at their schedule real quick, and we're almost done. Then we're just going to take a bunch of questions. Okay, here we go. Assignment 1, R Basics is coming up, and that's it. Do we not put assignment 2 here yet? We'll have to put it there. It is due by the 31st. So the 31st is Sunday night. Man, BS 320, life's easy, isn't it? And then complete R Basics on Data Camp. Any 320s in the chat right now? Yeah, Courtney, you're right. Courtney, thank you so much. You're a huge help. Huge help right here. Thank you, Courtney. Answering all the questions I missed. Send me an email like Courtney said. Thank you, Courtney, so much. You know what? I'm gonna try something unique here, Courtney. There's a way I can add points to a student, and I probably can't do that this much because it's a little harder to do. Because I used to shout out points. I used to be like, "You get points and you get points," and at the end of the semester, I spent way too much time typing in points. But we're gonna try something right here. I'm going to see if this works. Does it work? Because this takes too much time. Courtney, I'm going to give you 50. I'm going to give you 100 points. We're going to try this to see if adding points to Courtney works. And it looks like it did. Thank you so much, Courtney. I really appreciate all the help. Vols help Vols, and you're doing a big help answering all the questions that I'm missing right here. I know I've been reading all the documentation on everything we have. Sorry if I missed this, but how many rows do you want us to show and jump? I think you're all right either way. No, thank you, Courtney. I really appreciate it, because sometimes I have to pull up stuff and I'm not looking at the screen, and then I read the first ones and I don't get them in order. So you're helping out big, and that's the way. This is interactive class is what we do. So great question right there about the visualization, because 320, just for anyone wondering about 320, you do this, you're good. Ask me questions, practice coding. I mean, the big thing right now for 320 is to practice coding. We're about to enter in to learn to code. I know that really scares a lot of people. 201's like, oh, I'm glad I'm not in 320, but it's not that bad coding. We'll talk more about coding here in a second. I'm going to double check the visualization assignment to make sure we did it properly, that it doesn't have a row requirement, because I would hate for someone in another class to get points off because I didn't take enough rows. But please let me know when you have questions. Please let me know when you're stuck. This class is about Vols help Vols. You ask questions, we help out. I'll teach you all of them at once, Andrew. I'll teach you every one of them at once. I look to be teaching 475 this summer, and I'll be teaching 474, 475 this summer. Maybe I'll do a quick talk on that right after this. Let's go check out that visualization assignment. I'm in the wrong class. Feel free to ask questions you have right now, because we are kind of going into the next portion of Ask Questions. You see a bunch of people have done visualization 1. So let's go down here to visualization 1 and just double check. This is your point, speedrun BAS. All of it. It'd be a tough speedrun, Courtney. I think we're good. I don't see any requirement on how many rows to take. So she's doing awesome. She's loving it. We're having a great time. So I don't see a row requirement. Do not include anything outside of jump. That's probably where we're going to see people lose their points. Please note how my screenshot looks. Your screenshot should look similar to this. Does everyone notice how I don't have anything outside of jump? I mean, technically, so if you do have something outside of jump, you can go to crop and you can bring in the edges. That's not cropping. That's augmenting image size. Well, making it smaller, not making it larger. So if I did have something, and then to stop the crop, like if I just want to crop it to this, I mean, that's not outside of jump, but if I did want to crop it. So the crop option is click the picture. Mubot, great question right there. And then you go to crop. So this semester we changed it. This is something new that for Andrew to hear. This semester we changed how we're doing the first few assignments. The data camp assignments are for a grade. Are coming to these YouTube streams required. Not required, EA, but you do get points. You do get bonus points. They are not. This is not required. And I do put in timestamps afterwards. Oh, great question, Maddie, right there. And I think Sarah was asking about that. So to Mubarak's question right there, and so good to have you in class again, Mubarak. To Mubarak's question, it is required for this semester for 320. For a grade. So we will see if you complete it or not, and you have to have it completed by the Sunday due night. So how can we tell if MyPearson is connected to Canvas? To see if it's connected to Canvas, go over to Canvas and go to the home section, and you will know if you are connected if you can go down here and click one of these. And when you click it, you should get that the assignment pops up. Wish I had Jeopardy right there to play. Of course, copyright claim. Alex Trebek, we miss you, man. So if this happens right here when you click through, you are good. It does work better in Chrome a lot of times. So try switching over to Chrome and you are good to go. This is categorical. This is quantitative. It switched the spots. This right here, weekly food budget, is quantitative. We're good to go. And the state they lived in is categorical. And we just completed a 100 on homework 1. Homework 1 is done. That took 20 seconds or so. Homework 1 is done. Quantitative categorical identifier variables. And Maddie asked a really good question. The horizontal histogram for number 3 on the second visualization. So Maddie, let's do it. Let's start talking about the horizontal histogram, more stat to 1. Thank you. As people ask questions right here, we're just going to do them question by question. So if you have Jump installed on your computer, nice job, Courtney, helping out. Let's see. We're going to go over here to visualization 2, univariate visualizations, and we're currently talking about this one. And I think Terry I probably need to make videos for these, and I'm probably tonight or something. I made some fun visualization videos last semester, but there's only, I don't know what, 17 waking hours in the day. I teach and respond to emails during some of those. So I got to figure out what to do with time. Okay, so create a histogram of the variable tickets sold in millions using analyze distribution. This histogram must be in horizontal layout, have a count access, take a screenshot of the output and the quantiles and summary statistics and insert this into your Word document. Joker visualization. One of my favorites right there. That was a lot of fun to make. Joker is awesome. Heath Ledger, we miss you. Chadwick Boseman. Man, we lose too many good people. Sucks. Anyways, okay. Happy stuff right here. So we need to make a histogram in horizontal layout with count access. Everyone love it in the chat, F in the chat. So let's go here to analyze distribution. This is how to do number 3 for the visualization 2. Number 3 for visualization 2. Now, please note, I'm not using your same data. You'll need to do a random sample and all that good stuff. You get points for chatting and watching. So there's like a timer that if you chat every so often, you get points right there, both. Exactly. So in it, like Alexander just did, he interacted. You can't just type like, you couldn't just type like, you can't just do like this, like F in the chat or B, like you can't just do that and spam the chat and get points. It has a timer, like it won't let you do that. You could technically do it like every 10 minutes, like type yes, and like be like, we didn't ask a question. And it would allocate points for you interacting. So does that make sense right there, EA? So how much you interact gets you points and how long you watch gives you points. Because Mubot can tell who's like in the chat. It can like see the names in the chat and allocate them points. Because YouTube like shows that you're watching the video. So you see Sarah. Sarah's checking the points right there. Gold tier. Love it. Absolutely love it. People are just tons of points. So here we are. Let me slow down. Analyze. Distribution. This is where we go to analyze univariate data. So this is analyze distribution for univariate data. And you go right here and you go to file size because it's quantitative. What does this red and this blue represent in Jump? Like this one's red and this one's blue. Like why is this one red and this one's blue? I just don't get it. This one's red also. Like see category is red. Can anyone help me out with this? I'm a little confused. Cat and quant. Yes, this is categorical. This is quantitative. There is another color. There's ordinal. So if you go here, you can see ordinal is a green one. That's a categorical variable that's been put in order. Courtney's like, great question right there, because we need to know this. So this is categorical nominal. Nominal means it has no order. Think nominal, no order. So when you see the no in front of nominal, it means no order. When you see ordinal, it means it has an order to it. Things like steak preference for those who have done lectured 1, because I just really miss having steak. Good steak. There's a really nice steakhouse near us. So so when it asks report the method of center and spread for the last part of visualization, would you say like right? Ooh, great question. Let's go look at that. Let's do that. Ooh, great questions. So we're going to go to analyze distribution to analyze univariate categorical data, sous vide, and univariate data. And let's go right here. And we're going to hit the top red arrow. Slow down the video if you want. You can always pause it or rewind. And we're going to go to stack. So if you didn't know, you can pause and rewind these videos. Just make sure to click live when you're watching if you need to catch back up. I'm going to do this right here just to make it nice. I'm just expanding it. This is how I'd take my screenshot. You can grab the edge of these windows. I would not make it look like that. That looks ridiculous. I just want it to look nice. Does everyone understand? I'm just making a nice screenshot. That's why I'm changing the dimensions of the graphic. You don't have to. You can do things like histogram color. There's a bunch of options, but let's do the one we need to. Count access right here. So there's the count access right here. I do not think this one says show to the counts above. The bar chart does, but if you click this, it'll show the counts above each bar. And then there's not really a legend, Alexander. This is what's required though. This one doesn't have a legend. Some of the other ones might, but I think the bar chart wants you to show the counts. I wouldn't do that for this one. This one doesn't require it, but this is where the options are at, histogram options, and we're going to remove the show counts now. This is a graphic you will have for this. And so there's a really quick question from Luca Lurker. Please tell me if I pronounced that incorrectly, and I will pronounce it correctly. So we're going to go right here, take a screenshot of the graphic, and this is a histogram. We're going to go to a Word document. We're going to drop it in. We have our graphic. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this distribution. Okay, so we have shape, center, spread, which we will probably get to in Stat 201 today. Shape, center, spread. Shape has a few topics. Shape is going to have modality, skew versus symmetric. It's also going to have outliers, gaps. Okay, so I wouldn't quite do it right this. Awesome, so good. And Charlie, swing by anytime. So good to see you around here, Charlie. So when we talk about shape, do you recommend reading the textbook part of it? Definitely, I would read it before. Like, not the textbook, but I would review the slides, Emily. Great question right there. Unimodal versus bimodal. We're just kind of reviewing some topics right here. Unimodal versus bimodal versus multimodal. And this is skewed or symmetric. Since it's skewed right, don't you use the median? And it's uniform or symmetric, use the mean. Generally speaking, normal data use the mean. Great answers right there. You are on track. And so that one doesn't really have subtopics. There we go. And so we'll go right, left, left. And I would write this up, but we're kind of making a choose your own adventure type thing. Yes, or we'll put outliers. And we'll put yes/no. And yes/no. So let's do a choose your own adventure right here. So we're going to go through this and talk about this right here. Shape. And then we need to go center, mean, or median. And we need to go spread is going to be standard deviation. And I'm going to do something right here. This is very important. Can anyone explain visually? This is a big thing. We're practicing some material right now. Can anyone explain visually why I'm doing this right here? Who can think through this and be like, why visually is Brian doing this right here? Why visually am I creating these connections right here? So I'm creating a visual connection with these words. What is going on with this connection right here? Who has an idea? Any ideas? Let's see what the chat is saying here in just a second as I finish up the coloring on this. Okay. So let's see. They're linked, like you use standard deviation with the, so measures, so I think people are getting it. So I'm in class, I can't always mic these, which I do. Anytime you want to watch, and you can also watch the recordings, EA. Anytime you want to watch these, you can, or you can watch the recording. Good seeing you here, Katie. Thank you for swinging by. Use the mean to get standard deviation. Kind of close. Courtney, you're very close. The mean and standard deviation will always be paired together. So mean, let me put this, median, always used with IQR. And mean always used with, when will we use the mean? Who has ideas for when we will use the mean? Like look above and tell me when we will use the mean. When will we use the mean? Look above at the coloring to help out. When will we use the mean and standard deviation? It's not skewed exactly. It's more symmetric data. The data is symmetric. And what else? So when the data is symmetric, and what else? So always pair the mean and the standard deviation together. Exactly. You're 100% on track right there. So the data, great job right there. Excellent work. So the data, I'll probably give some points at the end off stars too. I'll give like 20 points at the end. So this is when we use the mean and standard deviation. Technically, it's not the end of the world if the data also might look like this. There's not really, it's a symmetric distribution too, but this is what we would generally see when we use the mean and the standard deviation. Does that make sense? That's why I've connected these words. You can see these are symmetric. There's no outliers. There's no gaps. So we're going to use these right here. This is the measure of center for this. This is the measure of spread for this. Everyone on track that these are connected right here. When the data is it's not the end of the world, but we usually think about this as the quintessential using the mean and standard deviation. That is the best time to use the mean and standard deviation. This is what we call normally distributed data. Yeah, color coding really helps. It's a big help when you have these color coded right here to see, you know, which is which, this or this. Now we go right here and we look at something like this, and we have a really right skewed distribution, and we have a really left skewed distribution. Does everyone see we have a famous saying? Who can put our famous saying in the chat? I'm going to give them points. I'm going to give 20 points for the first person to remember our famous saying that we say, something that is something, something to something, whatever way the something goes. You can type exclamation mark points. EA, huge help right there. Thank you, EA. Look, were you saying earlier, like, I don't know, someone was saying, like, there's a lot going on, and all you have to do is exclamation mark points. You're so close. I might give you the points right there. Let me try, see if I remember it from scratch. Let me see if that works. Right. Really close right there, Sarah. I gotta learn how to type this command from scratch. Points add. Is that not it? Oh, it's points add. 2 seconds. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. Right to the high, left to the low. I'm just trying a little points adding right here. Thank you so much for all the help people are giving. I'm giving 20 points out to the 2 people who answered right there. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. I'm just going to say it like 10 times while we're doing this right here. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. Does everyone see the monster's tail right there? Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way. I wish I could just click someone's name and add points in. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. So we got some points added in right there. So these are right skew, these are left skew. We have outliers, we have gaps, if possible. What do you notice? Which way skewed is this distribution? What is the skew of this distribution? Who knows the skew of this distribution right here? My volume was not up as high as it should be. Sorry, I'm a little bit louder right now. It is right skewed because you can tell the way the tail goes on the monster. Why do I say right to the high? Because the tail of this monster is going towards the high numbers. Do not be tricked. Do not be tricked. Because sometimes you'll get a distribution like this, and people will tell me that this is left skewed. People will tell me a lot of times that this is left skew. They'll say, Brian, that is left skew. How do I know if it's right to the high, left to the low? What way are the numbers being pulled towards on this distribution? What way are the numbers being pulled towards? What way do the numbers get like pulled towards with the tail? The tail's going to which side? The what side? Right to the high, left to the low. The tail goes to which side? Right to the high, left to the low. What side? Careful, Zoe. This is where people get tricked. And this is why I try to highlight this. They're going to the high side. And so a lot of people say to the left. But here's the thing. If you do this, what's wrong about this graphic right now? Because someone's like, well, Brian, it's to the left. The tail goes to the left. No, Zoya, I really appreciate it because this is why I'm doing this example, because people get to this on the test and then they make a mistake and they're like, it's left skew right there. Exactly, it's inverted. So to make this proper, we would need to rotate the graphic, and the wording's a little bit weird right now, but now the number line goes correctly. And we can also see this with our previous graphic back here where it flipped it for us and it wrote the numbers better. This is the same distribution. We want the x-axis going in the positive order. So when you think about right to the high, left to the low, you can see that this distribution is being pulled out to, so don't say right or left. Is this distribution being pulled out to the high or the low side? What way does the tail go? Does it go to, Zoya, you're welcome. Great review today. Does that go to the high or the low side? And it goes to the right. That is correct. And so, but then we also say right to the high. The tail goes to the high side. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. So that's correct. What's an interesting fact, these are all outliers right here. This is a very, it goes to the high side. Bingo, Alexander. Great job. Does everyone notice this little diamond right here? Does everyone see this diamond? I can tell you where the diamond will be. Let's kind of understand what's going on with this graphic right here. How about I write 2 numbers? And let's get bonus points for this. Who can tell me where the diamond will be for this distribution? Let's just call this jelly beans. Jelly beans are awesome. So where will the diamond be? Great question. Courtney's like, what is the diamond? What is the point of this? This is quantitative data. It's how many jelly beans. I used to bring jelly beans to class. We did like the crazy tasting jelly beans. It'll be at 10. And so the diamond, great job right there, Courtney. The diamond is at 10 and the distribution looks all crazy. Get a crazy distribution. The diamond, oof. Okay, let's do this. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. There's another detail I could tell you about the diamond that gets a little more advanced. I think that's the right button, but I don't want to use it. Okay. So the mean is still going to be the same, and there's the diamond. I'm going to explain one bigger detail about the diamond. So the diamond, the center of the diamond is the mean. The center of the diamond is the mean. The line right here is the median. So what would happen to, if we put one more number right here, let's go to insert. We're just going to see something visually. You know what we could do? Watch this. Let's go to our graphic. We're going to do something fun that Jump can do. Watch this fun. You're like, fun? I'm like, yes. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to here, and we're going to go to 2 seconds. I know where it's at. Redo automatic recalc. If I add in 9 right here, what do you notice suddenly shifts? When I add in like 6, what do you notice is moving? What is Brian changing right now? And you can see it in the output. What is changing? Exactly. You're totally right. Is it Lurka? The median is changing because technically this number would be between 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 10, 10. So that's the median. The mean is changing a little bit. The mean is changing just a tiny bit. If we put 7.5 right here, it'll be exactly at 7.5, and you can see the mean up there in the top right corner. But more drastically, what is changing is the median. The median is the what number. The median is more kind of drastically changing right here. The median is the what number. The median is the what number. The median is the what number. The middle number. What happens if I do this? What will drastically change now? If I do this, what will drastically change? If I do this right here, what will change? Is there a term for having the... I wish there was, Lurka. I wish there was. Zoya, you're 100% right. The mean will change a lot. You ready for the diamond to move? Look at that. The diamond, now it's like, it's really hard to see the graphic because the diamond is just like so far away. You know, it's off the scale. We could enter in a smaller number there, but the diamond is moving. You can't even really see the box anymore, but the mean has been drastically increased. So what is impacted more by outliers? What gets impacted more by outliers? Let's like make a really easier to read number line like 1. What gets impacted more by outliers? What is impacted the most by outliers? So the middle number is now 6. The mean is impacted by outliers. So what if I were to make this, so the middle number is 6. What if I make this? What will the middle number be now? So the middle number was 6, and I'm making this number even bigger. What will the middle number be now? Still the same. We can make the middle number here 5. We can just change it. I mean, you can see it just changed what the middle number was. And we make this 15. It's still the same middle number. 20. The median is not changing. So how exactly do we describe the center in words? So with this distribution right here, like let's make, sure, let's go to our original one. Let's do the data we were looking at. Here we go. Here's the original data. How I would describe this in Word is the center is best described by the median due to the extreme skew and outliers in the data set. The median represents the 50th percentile of, so let's write this down for everybody. This is a good definition to have. The 50th, then 50th. The 50th percentile of blank is the median for blank. Or the, wait, is at, the 50th percentile is at blank for, yeah, that's right. Okay, so I think this is a good enough. Everyone's is going to look like this. I'm like double checking. I want to say what I'm saying before we put it. This is only for the median, not the mean. So let's put here median. Okay, good. Median interpretation, the 50th percentile is at blank for blank. Who can fill this out for me? So we'll put this on the screen with our graphic. Let's make this smaller right here. Who can interpret what we have going on right here? So who can take the data we have and interpret it? So go ahead and take a moment right here and see if you can interpret it. Daria, you're so welcome. This is what we do. We just answer questions and we work on the assignments and we're talking about the visualization. Really good help with this right here to help out the visualization. So what would you put for this? If this is not the visualization one, I'm doing a slightly different one. What would you put to interpret the median here for this one? What would you do? And Lurka, is it right skew? Is the one you have to do right skew? Because that's a huge help if yours is right skew. I could do the mean and standard deviation for a different distribution, not this one. What would we put for this? Okay, good. Then it sounds to me like you're using median and IQR if it's... So what would you put for this? So these are like apps and they have certain file sizes and the median's up there in the data. And we can actually get the IQR a lot easier. What would you put? So use this right here and fill in the blanks. So remember that the median is the 50th percentile. So you can just do the 50th percentile is at blank. So where's the 50th percentile at? Do you see it anywhere in this data? Do you see it anywhere? Yep. Or you could say yeah, that works. You could say the 50th percentile for file size is at that. I might like that better. I'm sorry, I'm going to change this. The 50th percentile for blank is at blank. There's no exact way you have to say it. The big thing, good to have you here, Elizabeth. And so Maddie, great answer right there. The 50th percentile is at 82.7 for file size. And you could say in megabytes or 82.7 megabytes for file size, or the 50th percentile for file size is, sure. There's no perfect way to say it. There's just understanding that it's the 50th percentile for this variable. Does that make sense to everybody? If I look at this too long, I'll keep changing it. But now we can do an IQR interpretation. And do you know what makes life even easier? You know what? We're going to give some bonus points here. First person to calculate the IQR gets 20 bonus points. So go ahead. Who can calculate the IQR? And then I'm going to show you the easy way to calculate it. Who can calculate the IQR? 20 bonus points to the first person who calculates the IQR. I've got it ready to go. I'm going to just add your name in. Lurka X, great job. Boom, right there. And you can solve the mathematics. I'll give another 20 points for the first person. Oh, let me do this. I need to fix that. Oh my God. I'm going to fix that, Lurka X. The default command has that. Sorry, I'm going to take away those points. There's a command to take away points. So I can't give you that many points yet. Okay. There's a remove command. You never know what's going to happen live. You never know, right? So sorry about that. Okay, great job, everybody. Does everyone see the mathematics? The IQR represents I think I added the points to everybody, right? Okay. So sorry if I'm behind. EA, excellent work. EA was second right there. So EA, we're going to add in some points for you real quick. Be watching the mathematics on the screen. Just be practicing along. That's the best thing to do. Notice that people are taking the 25th and the 75th and finding the distance they are apart. I want to break down what the IQR stands for. The IQR stands for the interquartile range. When you hear the interquarters, which of these quarters are the interquarters? Which of these quarters right here are the interquarters? Which quarters right here are the interquarters? 2 and 3. So considering that these are quarters, the IQR is the range of the what? Because this is where Q1 is, or Q1 goes right up to there. Here's where Q3 is. So the IQR represents the range of the what? Exactly. That's why we use it with the median. Lurka X, you're 100% on track with this. You are doing it perfectly. That's why IQR and median are used, because they're both positional. The median is right here. Sure, why not? There's where the median is at. And so the IQR and the median are positional, and they don't take into account outliers. That's why they're paired together. So the IQR and the median are based on positions, and they don't get influenced by extreme outliers, because outliers would be over here in these regions. Like this is where the outliers would be at. Like they're going to be towards the outer ends of the data. So these two go together. So all you do is just find this different distance. So I want you to think about how would you find the range of the data, which the range does take into account outliers. If you were to find the range, what is the formula for the range? Who knows the complex formula for the range? Who knows the very complex formula we'd use to find the range? It's super complex. The range of the data is what? So when you use the median and IQR, because it's exactly, we don't pair those, right? It's mean and standard deviation paired together and median and IQR paired together. Exactly. Maria, excellent work right there. Maria says max minus min. So I want you to look at that formula you just did. This is the range. And what do you think the IQR stands for? It's the interquartile range. So who knows the complex formula for the IQR? Who knows the complex formula? Because the range is max minus min to figure out how far they are apart. So what's the super complex formula for the IQR? Did you know that before, Maria? Did you know that before? That's just the distance those are away. It's just how far are these numbers? What's the range? The distance those numbers are away. Nice job, Maria. This is how I want to hopefully help you understand these topics. It's like the range of the data is just the distance from the biggest and the smallest numbers. And then the IQR is the, Lurka, you're awesome. And Alexander, everybody in the chat. So much positivity, practicing this material, getting it down. And so when we interpret this right here, let's go back to our interpretation screen. We have one of those here. So sure, why not? Okay. IQR interpretation, the range of the middle 50% there we go. The range of the middle 50% of the data for blank is blank. So what is the range of the middle 50%? If you want to see a trick, go here to this, go to customize, and go to IQR where that's at. It's fully written out, interquartile range. Click OK, and there it is. So you can actually have it solve it for you. And this is what you'll write out. Great question right there, Ella. This is what you will write out. And this is what I like to do during office hours. And this video will be annotated later, like visualization to help. But this is, you can check this out later and be like, okay, so what should I be writing? All this stuff right here. Can we ignore that? Ignore all. That's so good. Oh, it's because of this. So who's got something good right here? File sizes. So that is the range of the middle 50% of file sizes. Like the middle 50% of file sizes range from, the distance they are apart is 105.985 megabytes, but they range from 39.025. This number right here is the 25th, and this number right here is the 75th. Does everyone notice this portion right in here? And I'll take a screenshot of just that. Don't include this in your write-up, but this right here is the literal middle 50%. The IQR is the 75th to the 25th. That is the distance. And this number right here is the calculation of the distance. So does everyone see that the range of the middle 50% of file sizes is 105.985 megabytes. There's other interpretations you can use, like the range of the middle 50% of file sizes go from 39.025 at Q1 to 145.01 at Q3. Why do we call this Q3? Why is that called Q3 and why is this called Q1? 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 Why in the world why do statisticians call that Q1? Hard to see with highlighter. What's going on? Q1. I think, yeah, you're on the right track right there. And you see it's 1/4 of the data. First and third quarters, exactly, Zoya. So I don't want you to just memorize things. I want you to be like, well, why do we call it Q1? Because it's where the first quarter of the data is. So I think because they represent the quarters of the data. Exactly, Alexander. Exactly. That's why it's called Q1, because 25% of file sizes would be at or smaller than this. 25% of file sizes would be at or above this. At 75%, the top 25% of file sizes are 145.01 or bigger. The smallest 25% of file sizes for apps are 39.025 or smaller. Exactly. And then kind of, Alexander, it would be right here goes from the minimum to the 25th percentile. And this goes from the 75th to the maximum. Does that make sense, Alexander? The visualization I drew a moment ago might help with that. Right here where Q3 is, this is where I'm, can you see that? Let me highlight it. Q3 would start at the 75th percentile and go up to the maximum. So Q3 starts at the 75th and goes to the 100th percentile, which is the maximum, the very biggest number. This is the 50th, 25th, and 0. Hopefully that helps. So saying the IQR and median definitions describe the center and the spread exactly. What are this is a review now. This is going to help us for the test. What are the only 2 measures of center we really use? There's other ones. There's like modality, but the 2 ones we differentiated today were this and this, and one of them was median. So what are the 2 measures? Exactly, Alexander. Those are spread. There we go. So Lorca put the spread and Courtney put the centers. We have a review sheet on that we've been covering. This is all review. This is practice. So if you get something wrong, do not worry. This is practice, practice, practice. So where's our review sheet on that? Oh, please tell me I didn't delete it. Oh, it's such a, oh, here it is. It's down here on this. So the measures of center are mean and median, and the measures of spread are standard deviation and IQR. Technically, there is range, and we should include, I'm just going to make it black right here. Range includes outliers, so range would be more for skewed data because outliers are going to do that. Got to make the little for. Oh, we've got a lot more Brians, you bet. And then modes, we are mode. I'll just put mode. Mode is kind of where data is centralized, but those we don't talk about them much. We either use the mean or the median to compare distributions. Range is less representative IQR. So range does not include outliers, which is why we use it for skewed data or data with outliers. So when you think about why we don't use range right here, the range of this data, if you look at this distribution right next to it, is going to go from here to here. There's the range where the middle 50% is going to be something like this. There's where the middle 50% is. So this is going to be the IQR. So the IQR is not going to take into account the extreme points, where the range is going to take into account the extreme points. So the IQR is a better idea of how far the data is spread apart, because if you had an extreme outlier like over here, well, then all of a sudden your range would be increased because of the outlier. Does that make sense, Lorca? Why range is going to oftentimes kind of not give a good view of the data because one point could be exaggerating the range. So yeah, because you could have data sets like, imagine if we had a data set, how many push-ups can people do? And it's like college students. So like people do like anywhere from 0 to 50 push-ups. And we say like, how many push-ups can you do before you stop? And then a person shows up who's the push-up champion of the world, and they can do like 800 push-ups before they stop. So now all of a sudden you're like, wow, the range of push-ups was 800, but it was really just due to one person. And we don't want one person to dominate the data. We want the data to kind of be a holistic view of the of like, not just represent one person, but represent the data set. And the IQR is a better idea of like what's going on with the spread of the data than the range, which could be inflated by one observation. I could beat 800. I used to be able to do 50, but not anymore. Not anymore. Got to start working out again. Got to start working out. What other questions are there? What should we do? This was a really good review of topics, and I'll give some points at the end of office hours too. Maybe we'll do 20 points at the start and 20 points at the end. People are checking out their points. So many good points. It's not a good sample because it doesn't give a general idea of the population. If there's outliers and you use something like the range, then it kind of only represents the outliers. Does that make sense? For number 1 on visualization 2, I found that this count button, yet there are no numbers on top. Instead, they show up on the side-by-side frequencies. How can I fix this? Let's look at that, Zoya. Great question, Zoya. Number 1 on visualization 2. Let's take a look at that right there. Here we go. Okay. Create a bar chart with genre. If I said like lasagna for a second, I was like, lasagna. Analyze distribution, include the values, either count or percentages above the bar. Take a screenshot of the output bar chart and frequency and insert into your Word document. So we need a categorical variable right here. Thank you so much, Lorca. Excellent work. Zoya, yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Courtney. Everybody, huge help. Huge help. And let's hop right in here. So we're going to go to Analyze Distribution. We are doing a univariate categorical data. And let's click this. Let's go ahead and click Category and click OK. So you notice it's categorical because of the red. And we're going to click right here and go to stack. Mine has a lot more than yours. And now here's where the button's going to be at. My graphic is pretty crazy. I'm going to click the down arrow next to this, histogram options, count axis. Histogram options, count axis. Then I'm going to click the down arrow next to this, histogram options, show counts. And does that work right there? For 3 on visualization 2, can you explain how you would determine the center in the spread? Yep, we can go back to that, Maya. You got it. We'll do it next year. Great questions. Thank you so much. And if I forget when we do this, I'll be like, hey, Brian, cover that thing. So I think we got time. BS 320 at 150. Nothing. Oh, I think I know the answer. Let's go show the answer right here, and I'll send out an announcement. 2 seconds. I will fix this. I can fix this. I will bet good money I know how to fix this. 31 watching. You guys honor me with helping out and watching this. I really appreciate it. Here is the answer.
If you're having...
Hope that's not as loud as you for me. Got to turn on. Okay. So let me drop this in the chat. This is an error inside of Jump. I'm very sorry. One of these days they'll fix it. I'm guessing that... You're welcome. Which thing do you want me to explain, Campbell? Repeat what you want me to explain. I'll make sure it's explained. I lost my... Here we go. There we go. Got it. Okay, so I'm going to drop this inside the chat right here. This is a visualization playlist I made for last semester. Please watch out. These are visualizations from last semester. The ones this semester are probably going to be about the same, but double check before, double check because I'm using last semester's things. Okay, so here's the issue.
An issue with the numbers appearing above your bars, there's a way to fix this. Let's go ahead and make a graphic here with a bar chart and add in the counts and put the labels on. Now these labels will appear, but let's see what the problem is. We're going to go here to the Apple and go to System Preferences.
Did everyone see that?
Now we're going to go to the upper left button and click on General. Under General, we can change from light to dark mode, and you'll notice when we go to dark mode, the numbers disappear. So going back to light mode will make the numbers appear, and then you can we're going to go to the Apple and go to System.
You need to go to Apple.
Labels will appear, but let's see what the problem is. We're going to go here.
Go to your Apple.
To the Apple and go to
System Preferences.
Now we're going to go to the upper left button and click on General.
So you go to General. Zoya, great job, Zoya. Awesome, thank you. I'll probably have to send out reminders about this. I'm very sorry. We encountered this a while ago, and I forget that it happens, and I made this video. It's just... Sarah is already at Platinum tier. Sarah, you are leading the way. Love it. So do we have histogram option and then percentiles on it correct? So your histogram, which one are you specifically asking about? Sorry, this is what your bar chart should look like, something like this. This is the bar chart. It has the numbers on top of it. Exactly, you're gonna find all the tiers. If we have Windows, does yours look like this, Maria? Does yours look like this with the numbers on top, or does it not have the numbers? Tell me if it doesn't have the numbers, and I'll see if... I don't think Windows ever has this problem. Does yours look like this? And if not, tell me. I know, Adam, the problem still persists. And it's so... I'm sorry. They need to fix it. It's really weird. It's like the one error we have, and it's on one of the first... It's not like an error on our part. It's just, for some reason, Jump has that issue with night mode. I don't know why. I have not started... Oh, yeah. If you have a PC, you should be fine. You should... The things should show up. And tell me if you have any issues. You can send me graphics and say, like, Brian, does this look all right? You don't think it had a great job right there? And Campbell, did we answer your question? Campbell, did we get yours answered? So do we have the histogram option and then percentiles on it correct? This is what your bar chart should look like. And then your histogram should look like this. Make sure you have the count axes. And I guess the only other thing, let's see the other graphic. Where's the visualization 2? We're going to look at visualization 2 of this. Create a pie chart. Include the label, either label by the percent or total value. Make sure to click done if you screenshot. Take a screenshot of the output and put in your Word document. So now we just need a pie chart. Let's show how to make a pie chart here real quick. to make a pie chart inside of here. On number 2, you want the counts on top and not the percentages. Does it say counts or percentages? Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so which one is it? It says either counts or percentages. Good. I got worried that I did something wrong in a video and then I have to tell my graders to accept either. Counts or percentages are fine for the bar chart. Does that make sense, Campbell? So great question right there. Do you have a specific format that we need to use as models for during the write-ups following our screenshots? As long as it looks nice. If you're worried, just email me and be like, hey, Brian, can you give this a look? I don't grade assignments, but I do like look at stuff. I will look at something and be like, that looks good. Doesn't mean you got 100. It just means you're doing what you should be doing. Like I'll just like scan it and be like, it looks good. So if I have mean and median, standard deviation, IQR described for visualization 2, question 3, I should be good. Well, so you'll only pick one group of those. If your distribution looks something, so which of those would you use? Let's say your distribution looks like this. What would be your center and what would be your spread? If it looks something like this, unimodal and symmetric, what would be your center and what would be your spread? If it looks like this, what the best measure of center would be what here? Because this is unimodal symmetric, does not have outliers. So the center is going to be what here? What would be the center here? Correct. The center is going to be the mean, the average of the data, and then the spread is going to be standard deviation. Those two always go together. But if your data looks something like that, what is going to be your center and what is going to be your spread? So if your data looks like this, what would be your proper measure of center and what would be your proper measure of spread? Then we're going to do the pie chart after this. So if your data looks like this, what would be the proper measure of center, what would be the proper measure of spread? So now the data is exactly median and IQR, because those are based on positions in the data where mean and standard deviation, they're actually kind of based on each other. If you look at the formula for standard deviation, it's actually the standard deviation from the mean. So the mean is used to calculate standard deviation. So they're together. This would be median and IQR. How do you determine the median? Awesome for us. So median, finding the median is the middle number. If you have 5 numbers right here, so these are just different numbers, what is the median? If you have 5 numbers right here, what is the median? If you have 5 numbers, what is the median? 4. What is the median now? Be very careful. What is the median now? What is the median of this data set now? And this is with 5 numbers. What would be the median? The median of the data set now is 2. Be very careful. You have to put the numbers in order. Sometimes we put them in order, sometimes we don't. But I threw a trick here at the end just to be like, I mean, we're just practicing. The numbers have to be put in order and then you find the middle number. But what if you don't have 5 numbers and you have 4 numbers? So now there is no middle number. Who can explain mechanically how we'd find the median now? The numbers are in order, which is a great way to find the median. So now that there's 4 numbers and there is no middle number, Zoya's on track right there. You average the middle 2. From the chart, how would you determine since you don't know the exact amount of numbers? Explain in more detail, Maya. I can look at we can pull up our data right here. With the histogram, it will give us the median. So the median right here, does it say? Oh, it just says like the value since the such and such given. Does this make sense right here, Maya? Nice job right there, Campbell, helping out with the answers. People getting some awesome points today. Like we already have someone at platinum tier, I think. Oh, it's awesome. So there's the median right there. It finds it for you. So you can say, you know, the 50th percentile of file size download. And I'm doing a different one than you, so you can't just like copy the screenshots or copy what I say. But great job, Mia. How are people, who's got visualization? Let's show the pie chart right here real quick. Let's show how to make a pie chart in Jump, because that's the only thing we haven't done. And then we'll have completed visualization too. To make a pie chart inside of Jump, we're going to go back to our data set. We're going to go to Graph and Graph Builder. I'm going to stop on these things so you can also pause and rewind, but we're going to go to Graph. We're going to go to Graph Builder. Then we're going to take the categorical variable. Nice job on the points, Alexander. Silver tier. Love it. We're going to drop this right in here. It's going to be crazy. Oh, app name's even bigger. App name is actually an identifier, I think, or it might not be because there might be repeats. It's going to be a crazy pie chart. Your pie chart's not going to look like this. And then we're just going to click the pie chart button. Did everyone see I dragged it in there? I'm clicking the pie chart. And now we're going to go here. That's one heck of a pie chart. And I think that's got it. And let's go here to done. And there you go. There's a pie chart. And you could say pie chart of app category. You can change these. You can just call it pie chart. You don't have to edit these, but you can if you want. Oof. I don't have that one. I did have that one. Got other ones. My sound effects aren't loud enough, though.
Wow.
No, wrong one. I gotta remember to do that today in class. Gotta remember. So, who has completed this visualization? Who's completed both visualization 1 and 2 for this week? Because I think we did a lot. Let's take some final questions. But we did a lot of really good. The first wow.
Wow.
Is it loud enough? Because I've got other sound effects that I need to improve the sound volumes of. I've got other things on here, but what is this one? I should memorize what these are. This helped you complete it. Awesome. Zoe says almost done. Glad to hear that. Amazing work today, everybody. We're going to head off in like 3 minutes. I'm going to get probably just some water or some juice or something before class and maybe a snack. I'm going to teach some 320 here, some 201. Remember, at the start of each of these weeks, that's how my soul feels on happiness. That is awesome, Alexander. 2 attempts later. Well, just remember, at the start of each week, we will first go over the important things to do, and then you kind of control where the session goes from there. So after we complete, and I'm always open to taking questions while we're going through, like, I'll never be like, no questions. But I want everyone to know, especially if you're in the asynchronous section at the start of these, and you know what? We said we were going to add 20 points to everyone at the end here. I really appreciate people staying. So if you're live in the chat at the end, wherever that thing is that tells me how to add points, see, I got to remember this. Where is it? Do I still have it? Where'd it go? No. Who remembers this? Well, wait. Did I close it out? Let's do a bet. Let's bet. So people are checking their points here. 10,000 again. Let me go to the Streamlabs documentation again. Okay, here we go. Wait. Here we go. 2 seconds. And then we'll end lecture here. But I really appreciate everyone. Okay. There we go. Let's add another 20 points for everyone being here, saying, hey, this might be a bad question. No bad questions. But any chance you could tell me how to save the Word doc to upload to Canvas? Once you have your Word doc ready to go, so get all your graphics in, and then file save as. If you have problems, let me know. You can message me. So just let me know. It should save your computer as a file. Yep, exactly. If you have problems, just let me know. I can scroll up and probably find it exactly. So that's got it. Lots of points today. People are on track. What do our write-ups have to include? Just make sure to go through the parts it wants you to talk about. So you see right here, this one says include a short write-up of the 3 largest genres and their corresponding values for the graphical display. So I would say here the 3 largest, yours is going to be easier to read than mine. The 3 largest the 3 largest categories for app categories were games with 289 observations. Also, whatever this is, education with 68 observations, and entertainment had 61 observations, tied with also photo and video, which had 61. My interpretation is different than yours. Thank you so much, Courtney, helping out big time right there. Include a short write-up of movie ratings and their counts or percentages in ascending order. So that's the pie chart. Bar chart's going to be similar. Does that make sense what to do? Like, make sure to mention the numbers. A big thing is, I don't want to put in caps. Mention the numbers. If you notice how I'm talking through the numbers and I'm saying like, almost like you wouldn't need to see the graphic. Does that make sense? Like with what I said, where it's like the 280 of the observations were gaming for apps, like it would tell you without you actually having to read it. Like someone would be able to understand what's in that graphic without seeing it. That's when you have a good write-up. Make sure to talk about the shape. So identify the shape of the histogram based on the shape provided. Applied only. So don't give the mean, median, standard deviation, and IQR. Give only the ones that apply. So shape, center, spread, and we did a review of that earlier on. So make sure to check that out with shape, center, spread. Here we go. So we did a big review. Go back to this part where we did a big review. You're welcome, Alexander. We're here to help out. And there's office hours every day, twice a day, some days. And that's got it. We're going to head off here. We're going to play our favorite sad music by Josiah Wilkinson. And so do a fan art of... Oh, you are welcome to do some fan art. Should we reveal some secret fan art? Who says yes in the chat? I'll introduce you to someone. If you say yes in the chat. Who wants secret reveal in the chat? Let's find out. More to come. Let's stat to a 1. Oops, wrong button. You can guess who it is.
Mubot will be under my control one day. Mubot. Mubot will be mine. The boss will control Mubot. Bye, everybody.